Hello friends, welcome to JavaFx GUI tutorial. In this video, we will add data points for the line chart. So we already designed our form in the previous video, and we made the fxml entry also. So our chart is denoted by the fxml entry chart line. So the line chart is based on two axes, number as well as number. So both are number axis, and so we form our data point based on two numbers. Next, in the initialize method, we create instance of XYChart.Series. So this XYChart.Series represents the data points, right? Say for example, if you want to plot some 5 points, so we call this as a series, and to this XYChart.Series we name this as a sales series, right? To this series we will add the data points, and it will get connected to form the trend. So this is the series of data that shows some change in trend. So XYChart.Series, here new XYChart.Series, and this is our instance name. So we will create data point and add here. Here we name this as a series, right? Sales series dot set name sales of M20 car. So that's the title we are giving for the series. We have X and Y axis ready by the fxml designer. In the fxml designer we designed this as month numbers 1 to up to 12, and here sales in terms of 1000. Say for example 5000, 10,000, 15,000, likewise it will go. And name what we are giving here is sales of M20 cars. So the title will appear here. So using the sales series we set the name, so that's the name given for this series actually. Then sales series dot get data will give you the collection, and from that collection we are making call to add method. So we are adding the data. So what is the data? Data is new data. Here this data is actually, this is line chart, right? LineChart.Data. So new data 1,25. When we go to the code, that time we will resolve this, and by looking at the import you will easily come to know where from this data is coming. So new data 1,25. So the first one denotes the first number, second one denotes the second number. This is x-axis scale 1, 2, 3. Likewise we are providing data points for 12 entry or 12 points. So each point here in x scale denotes the month number. So we are telling on month number 1, 25,000 is the sales. Month number 2, 18,000 is the sales. Likewise we are preparing the data. So here we have 12 data points ready. Each data point represents sales for 1 month. And if you see here, sales series we already created, and to this sales series we are adding all these data. On the fly we are getting it. cell series, get data, then add. So if you need, you can, instead of repeatedly calling it and retrieving the collection, you can make a call after this line, store that in a reference variable, then you can go for x.add. So you can name it as a meaningful collection name, maybe a LineChart.Data, then LineChart.Data.add new data. Likewise, you can add the code. So it's definitely a slight performance hit. So each time the series will get increased by 1 and the same stuff we are retrieving and we are adding. Alright, anyhow, here in the XY series we are adding the data point one by one, and towards the end we will be having 12 data points ready from month 1 to month 12. So sales series is ready. Then chart line, this is our line chart. Get data, this get data is different, so this is to represent this series. Chart line dot get data dot add sales series, right? We added one series like this. A chart can have this one is a line chart, right? A line chart can have multiple series. So this is M20 car, and you can put Mac 4 car, and that will be having different data points, right, on the same line, right? So this is one series, this is a two series. Anyhow, in our example we are going with only one series, but you can easily understand here. XYChart.Series, we are forming the series, then we are adding it to the XY chart or a line chart, we can state, right? From we can create n number of XY series. Here this is one series, sales series. Likewise, you can create a number of series. Instead of sales series, we can state it as a M20 sales series, or sales of M20, sales of Mac 4, sales of car 3, sales of car 4. Likewise, you can create n number of series, and you can add those series to the chart, line chart. So if you added 4 series, line chart will represent 4 trend in a different color, so you can compare the trend of 4 series. Alright, now we will go ahead and add the code. We already created a skeleton code. Now we will place the single series. Now we will go here and change the, so on each time we are using the same entry point which we created in our previous example. So this time we will change it as so we are loading this new XML now. Title line chart example. So 36.12 we already added. So that's nothing but the fxml entry. Now we will add our series. So XY chart, we created the series, and data is from XYChart.Data, JavaFx scene chart, XYChart.Data. Like how we added data for pie chart, the same way we are adding the, or we are creating the data for XY chart. So here it is named as line chart, right? If I control click, you can see it is derived from XYChart. That's why we are adding inner class of data to this sales series. We created sales series, we set name, then we added data point, then we added that to the line chart. So chart line, we already made an fxml entry from our fxml file. Now we will rebuild it. And we will run. So if you see, this is our trend or XY series, sales of M20 car. Now it's easy to add one more series just for testing purpose, so that you can compare the trend. Sales series 2. Here if you see, we created a second series just for testing purpose, and we changed the trend point. X-axis we doesn't change. Why? Because here we want to compare. And so for the first month, the sales of M20 car is 25,000. Here it is 30,000. Now we will build it and run. Now you will be seeing two trend and you can compare. And the month number here, this is 0th month, leave it. First month, January, February, likewise you can read. If you have category axis instead of number, you would have been specifying this as January, February, March, like that. Anyhow, here you can see sales of M20 and sales of Mac 3, and you are comparing the sales in a year between these two type of cars. And in the y-axis you can see sales in 1000, right? So you can easily compare. So just by looking at the graph, you can say on month 8 and 9, sales of Mac 3 is lesser than the M20 series. After that, it picked up in sales. Alright, so this is simply an example, and we added only 2 series. If you want to add a number of series, you can create and add that based on these data points. The first data point is month, which is number. Second data point is also a number, and in the axis we specified sales in 1000. Alright, first data point is here, second data point is here. This is series 1. Here it is series 2. Likewise, you can add a number of series. Just now you saw the demo. Thank you for watching. Bye.